since we have it's a split weekend. So we do Friday night lights, but there's a lot of games that we'll talk about that actually are on Friday. So we'll start with the Egg Bowl on Thursday night. It is the only college football game prior to Friday this week. A Thanksgiving tradition unlike any other. Shenanigans, peeing. There might be some pee gestures in the end zone with the legs up and suspensions that follow. You never know what you're going to get in the Egg Bowl. Mississippi, a 2.5-point home favorite. Over under 58.5, 59. I'm actually leaning towards Mississippi State, but I always do, so that doesn't mean much. And Leach on Thanksgiving. This won't be a big bet for me, regardless. But I know that you like Ole Miss and you like the under. So make your case for those folks who will be on their couch tuning in, trying to avoid sleep, and hopefully this game can keep them entertained enough not to.
Well,
or maybe if you have the under, maybe you want them falling asleep.
yeah, I mean, I love the under, and I like Ole Miss in this game. I don't like the fact the point spread has gone against where I bet it, but I think a lot of that has to do with Lane Kiffin. We got some TV guy down there reporting that he's leaving, and I'm not going to get into what we've been sitting on, the information we've been sitting on, but I mean, it just isn't verified. It's not confirmed. I mean, we all are getting little tidbits of information that Lane Kiffin is gone, that boosters are having they're sitting around the campfire in Auburn and they're trading seven-figure donations being handed off. I don't know if that's through Venmo or PayPal or how that's exactly being handed off, but there are a lot of stories coming out from credible people that I know that says that this is all a done deal. Now, the fact this TV guy comes out and says this, and Lane, of course, takes offense to it, doing some late night reading, Dan Mullins jumping in his mentions, and then he calls out this TV guy and puts up this own guy losing his job or leaving his job. I think it's great by Lane that it tells his players, I'm here for you. I'm here through the end of the season, and don't listen to all these rumors. So I think the locker room is going to fight for Lane, right? Because if Lane's going to come out and not dismiss these rumors, then the locker room's not going to play for him. So I think you're going to get a fully motivated Ole Miss team thinking their head coach is still going to be there. And this is the Egg Bowl, right? I mean, you show up to fight. You don't show up to play here. You show up to fight in the Egg Bowl. And when you look at, if you break it down, the Rebels have two defensive backs that are great in the top 200 in coverage defenders. You've got to have that against Mississippi State. And, DeAndre Prince has been a quality cornerback this season. He's forced 7 pass breakups in a zone-heavy scheme. So they're going to try to stop that air raid, that dink and dunk offense that Mississippi State's going to try to play. But Mississippi State, they're just going to give up too many explosives to the Ole Miss running backs. That has been a problem for them the entire season. There's just better third down defense coming from Ole Miss. There's better red zone numbers coming from Ole Miss. I think the scoring is going to be light. I think it's going to be slow. I think this is a grudge match of a battle and a rivalry game, but there's just too much in the advanced stats to say that Ole Miss is going to have success running. Ole Miss is going to have the advantage on third downs, and that's enough for me to go ahead and make a bet on a number that I think should be 4.5. That's why I took it right on open. So I get it. I know why Mississippi State is steaming down. And listen, it's a fragile state for Ole Miss. Players could all of a sudden decide we know coach is leaving and fuck this, right? We don't know. So I get it. But from an X's and O's standpoint, Ole Miss, to me, has the advantage.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there. From a numbers perspective, I make it just like a coin flip, but I've been lower than the market on Mississippi State, and I mean higher than the market on Mississippi State, lower on Ole Miss all year. So it's gonna be nothing big for me on Thursday night, but I'll definitely have I'll dabble a little bit. Maybe I don't mind the under either.